All right, so I just wanted to make a quick instructional video to show you how to access Google Apps because I have made a couple um, I have made a couple documents which I want to show you. So I'm just going to keep the tabs open that I need to keep over here. And if you go right here to your apps and you click over here, most of you will likely have under new an app called Google Apps. Okay, and because I've already activated in mine, it comes up under here, under all, and it looks like this. This is Google Apps. But again, if you go here, this is the menu. So I'm in my calendar. I'm on Outlook Office 365. This is my calendar. You can do this from your OneDrive. You can do it from your mail. But anyway, you go here. You don't click on mail, calendar, people. You go to new, most likely, and there will be Google Apps. Or if you've already activated, it's down here. And what happens when you do that, here, let me close this first. It will open up a new Google email, okay, that is in your name with the same email as the one you have under Office 365. So this is a Gmail, but it's at aswest.com. This is your Outlook 365 one. So now that you have Gmail through the school, you go over here to your apps, and you could do Google Classroom. You've got all kinds of different options, but for me, I have made, under Google Drive, I have made a couple documents that I wanted to share with everybody. Now, one has to do with peer observations, and we're still working this one out with HODs, so this one hasn't been shared yet with all of you. But this one right here is, I actually shared it in the coming up this week in a link, and a lot of you ended up clicking on it and then trying to access it with your personal Gmail. And I'm going to ask that you actually don't use your personal Gmail to access it, but that you use your aiswest.com Gmail. Okay? So for those of you that were at the IBCLC meeting, this is a picture of what Alia diagrammed on the whiteboard. And this is what I would like, this is a product that I would like you to finish as part of the work that we're going to do on October 29th, the PD Day. Okay, so we'll be sending out an agenda on Wednesday, and you will have that. But I just want you to see right now, this is the document, and it basically, this is a planning document that follows this visual. Okay, this visual starts with a summative assessment here. It's backwards planning, and it's driven by the standards, in this case IB standards, but it doesn't have to be, this can apply to more than just IB. And since you have this big, huge summative assessment, what other summative assessments are you going to do to get you through the unit along the way? So this could be a fairly long unit. So in this case, Alia diagrammed a business example, and the one assessment that is closest to the major summative is basically a model of it. The one before that focuses on the skills. The one before that focuses on the content, basically, that they need to understand. So she's using Bloom's taxonomy to build from the content to the skills to a mini of the major assessment and then the major assessment. So once you have those ones, then you can decide what formative assessments along the way you're going to use to check for understanding. So you've got, she's got some good examples here in terms of an exit ticket, or they can just do a few sentence summary, have a portal discussion. This could be a quiz on the content, and then you give them some additional formatives to help them practice the skills so that they can master the skills, and then they can show their mastery on this summative assessment, right? And then little formatives in here that basically would incorporate some of the skills, some of the content. Short ones, you could do Socrative quizzes. Quizzes are pretty much standard in terms of using them in a formative manner, getting to the summative. This one would be part of a paper two for business, but you could have like a a combined chapter test, like chapters 2 and 3 test here, and then this could be like a unit test, okay, if you're not doing IB. And then here you have a formative after this summative to be able to make sure that you're on the right track. You get some feedback from the students, get some reflections from the students in terms of how they're going so that they are ready, they know what they need to do to prepare for this major summative assessment. What I'm going to ask you that you do on October 29th is fill this form out in your departments. I just want one unit that you can backwards plan assessments for. Okay, um, it should be one that's coming up, and you need to say what standard you're going to cover, what major assessment you're going to choose, what summative assessment chunks you're going to have, and these are some descriptive words that I put in here to be able to develop these. So I've bulleted this in terms of what the smaller summative assessments can be, and then you have the even smaller formative assessment chunks here. So that's it, but I want you all to be able to use this as a planning template, um, and so you need to be able to access it. So I did share the link in the email that I sent in the coming up this week, but I would really ask that you use your aiswest.com email address. So I don't know if I need to recap or not, but basically that's you accessing through the apps right here. You go down, you click on the Google apps and it should automatically open up an email, in this case mine. Then you go here for your Google apps, and then you should be able to um, access the document, okay, in terms of what's shared with you, right? So you would have that. So I've got other things that have been shared with me from other people, student council and an e-draft from somebody. So we've got lots of different things here. But you would go to the shared with me here, okay? It's in my drive because I'm the one that made this document. So hopefully that explains. I hope to do a little bit of further explanation on the 29th, but please watch this video. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you. Have a good evening.